Good evening, G1s. I am Master Wayne for this week's G1 interviews, and tonight I have a very, very special guest, creator of Digital Boundaries, Mr. Figcoinc. How you doing this evening, mate?
I'm doing pretty well, man. How you doing?
Oh, mate, I'm just tired.
I understand the feeling completely.
Excellent. So, how did you discover ScrewAttack.com?
Honestly, it's kind of a funny story. I found it. I was looking for something on GameFAQs years ago. I'm probably one of the oldest G1s around. I actually was visiting the site before the Angry Video Game Nerd and Game Jew and Video Games Awesome premiered on ScrewAttack, and I came across it randomly. I was looking for something on GameFAQs, and then I couldn't find it on there, and I started going around looking. I found, the ScrewAttack, and then when I got on there, I found something funny, and I just kind of stuck around, kind of put it in my favorites folder, and just went from there.
That's brilliant. And what is your favorite show on ScrewAttack? The original contents shows.
Well, it was the name of it just went. I just flew my mind real quick, but it was when they did the weekly little skit show.
The clip of the weeks, yeah.
Yeah, the clip of the week. That was always the best. It's kind of sad as kind of went off on the wayside of the newer shows. It was Death Battle.
Yes.
I really enjoyed. Also enjoyed when Handsome Tom was there, and he kind of did his whole, hey, this is the game I enjoyed for, this is my game collection choice of the week. And even when his now wife, Liz, used to kind of, show the game, talk about I think it was like the secret hint or something like that of the week back in the day.
Brilliant. Have you seen the new Robocop versus Terminator death battle yet?
Yeah, actually I saw it last night because I'm an Advantage member. I got the early access.
Oh,
and and I saw it. It's pretty awesome.
I caught it just before we started the interview, and I was very, very happy with the outcome.
Me too.
A very long-time fan of that particular franchise.
Exactly.
We're not going to give anything away.
Possible, so people don't get mad.
Who is your favorite ScrewAttack staff?
To be honest, it's Craig. And it's not just because ScrewAttack and studying Craig. I have actually a lot of respect for Craig, and I've actually emailed this to him before, and me and him have had correspondence in the past, and it was pretty much, I told him that when I was younger, I wanted to start my own website. I wanted to start my own gaming channel type of thing, very similar to what ScrewAttack is. And I never got around to it. Life got in the way. I mean, I went to college and all that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of living vicariously through Stuttering Craig and all the ups and downs. And since I've been around so long, seeing the people come, people go, the drama, the mistakes that were made, the successes that were made, all the things that comes from being one of the first to do something like this on the site. I just have a lot of, respect for Craig for what he has to do, because he puts a lot of hours in. I don't think people really realize the dedication it takes for the crew at ScrewAttack to make the site run, and what Craig actually has to do. He probably puts in more hours than people could comprehend.
Craig has to be my favorite also. Well, it's only because he's an old school gamer, and he likes a challenge, which we're going to touch on a little bit later.
Yeah. Yes, he very much likes a challenge, and if there is no challenge available, he'll just make up one.
Oh, yes. Right. Is there anything on the site you could change? What would it be?
Right now, I think it's the ability, I'm not too sure when the update came, was the ability to reply to comments. Right now, it seems like a little bit harder to reply to comments ever since they implemented the new comment system. I enjoy that because sometimes when someone replies to me, like one of my videos will get to the front page, and all of a sudden someone replies, it's really tough unless I have the actual email saying that someone replied, but I don't know, the back and forth makes it really tricky. Something else that I would like is that, they're always trying to show more G1 content, But it would be nice if it actually had a tab like here's the ScrewAttack content and here's the G1 content, which almost seems like they're doing it now with the YouTube playlist at the top. So it would be nice to also have maybe say the bottom area having as a ScrewAttack content like feed. Not like just whatever, it's still the front page chosen type of stuff, but something more to kind of get more content from the G1s out there, because there's a lot of talented G1s out there, and it would be nice to kind of share the work. And I also know that's what ScrewAttack is all about anyway, but also, you know, the ScrewAttack is putting out their all their projects as well, so a good balance between the two would be nice.
That's brilliant. And lastly, what are your fondest memories of ScrewAttack? What's the thing that kind of sticks out?
Oh man, there's actually been a lot of things. It's probably some of the fondest memories is just watching the site evolve over time. Watching it from when I first got there, it looked nothing like it does now. I mean, it looked like it was made from some GeoCities art on a blog somewhere when it first started out. And you know, the hyperlinks are everywhere. It was a little bit of a hot mess. I think they had Google AdWords everywhere and stuff like that. And just seeing it kind of grow over time and seeing the community grow. I think that's been my favorite part of it all, is that seeing the community evolve over time. And you know, when they say the G1s, it's almost kind of funny, because when I was early on, it was always the great ones, because they were the ones who, you know, supported the site, and that's what G1s pretty much means, that we're the great ones. We are there to help the site out. And then it's kind of funny now, some people just call it G1s, it's just a name, but they don't know the meaning behind it. And that's what, you know, what I've heard from Craig and Tom when it came through, and all the stuff, just seeing it overall, just seeing the people come and go, and actually seeing some of the people that came to ScrewAttack, even after they left ScrewAttack, do different things. Like, you know, Jose is now, you know, the head community manager for a mobile type of game. Destin is definitely, you know, doing well, working for IGN. You know, Corey is doing some type of stuff, working with the airlines. You know, heck, even Pro Jared is now with Normal Boots and, you know, all that kind of stuff, and he's having success his own way. It seems that ScrewAttack, in his own simple way, has helped a lot of these guys' career get into the gaming industry or into something great that they always wanted to get into.
Well, ScrewAttack for me is the whole reason I started making gaming videos, just because it's just a total inspiration. I used to record as I was playing games on top of some VHS videos I'd stacked, and there'll be a camera on top of there pointed at my computer screen.
Yep.
Oh man, those videos were rubbish.
See, me was writing. Like, I started back in '96 when GeoCities was the only way I could afford to get a site. I probably started up like 7 to 10 different gaming websites, and you know, when I was able to get an animated GIF on my site, I considered that a great success. And you know, seeing when ScrewAttack came around, it was pretty much, like I said, I saw my inspiration start coming out. I'm like, this is what I wanted. And a couple years ago, when Craig, not this current version of ScrewAttack, but the past version, when the last generation came through, I wrote Craig a big email kind of explaining, like, hey, you pretty much are living what I wanted to do all these years, and I wished him the best in this, because I know how much work he puts into this. So, you know, it's probably one of the inspirations for me. Now that I have my own YouTube channel and I'm doing my own thing, I could attribute it, majority of the inspiration is through ScrewAttack and the entire crew, for, you know, this old guy, because I'm older than Craig, to finally have a chance to give this a shot.
Well, that is it for the ScrewAttack portion of the interview. Woo!
Yeah. Woohoo!
Okay, Mr. Figcoinc,
Yes.
your own personal works time.
Gotcha.
The one thing that caught my eye with your work was your show, Just One Life, which I find amazing, because I like those little challenges you do, try and get through a level with one life, and these levels, forgive my French, are a complete, I'm not going to say the word,
I can feel it.
Yeah. I've just pulled a couple of examples. Your Turtles challenge. Man.
Yeah, that was fun.
But I have to confess something about this Turtles challenge. I did it before you.
Nice.
Yeah, it's on one of my videos called Challenge Master Wayne #2, and I got through it with using only 2 turtles, and I didn't die once.
Oh, see? But I beat you then, because I did it with 1 turtle.
Ah,
I just did it
well,
with
there we go.
Leonardo.
You put me back in my place. I'll shut up now.
Exactly. And it's funny, the reason I picked Leonardo for that challenge, he was the only one left after the dam level when I was about to jump in the water that still had full life. So it was either him or nothing.
Did you get any video responses off that? Did anybody attempt that little challenge, or?
No, I've never received a video response in my channel ever. Even when the video responses were a thing on YouTube before they took it all away, no one's ever given me a video response. I've gotten a lot of, hey, I either get 3 responses when I do it just one life. I either get, good job, or nice try. I either get, this is too easy, you should do some random XY game that is impossible to beat, and they kind of lose the whole concept of the show that it's an underdog story. Or they say, I did it better than you, like, the Turtles game, I did it blindfolded while standing on my head, this is easy.
While I was juggling samurai swords.
Yeah, I was juggling samurai swords. I'm just like, okay, high five.
Stick it on YouTube, mate, just let's see it.
I was like, show me.
Yeah, exactly. Another one was the Donkey Kong Country Minecart challenge.
Oh yeah.
Which I am still yet to do. Still can't get through that level without dying at least once.
I consider that probably one of my luckiest episodes, because something I always tell people, that some people think, oh, I'm just trying these videos until I get it. No, when I actually do the main challenge, that's it. Whatever happened, if in the Donkey Kong episode, if I fell in that first pit, that would have been the video. I'm like, so I consider that one of my great achievements that I actually got through that.
Brilliant. And with your new fighting game show, Let's Fight, I saw the last one with the Third Strike, where you played Dudley.
Yeah.
That's very entertaining stuff. What do you plan to achieve with that show?
My whole point of the show is that I have a big love of fighting games. When I was growing up, there was arcades everywhere, and I played Street Fighter, I played Marvel, Third Strike, Mortal Kombat, and I got really into it. I know a couple people in the fighting game scene, and some people I don't know personally, but I've actually played against, and the whole point of that show is I fell away. I just stopped playing fighting games. I'll play them occasionally, but this is my way of getting back into it and trying to relearn everything. So in that, Let's Fight show, I was playing Dudley. A couple of responses, to the video were like, you say you're rusty, but you're just going around whooping people's butt. And I'm like, you don't understand that when someone who knows Third Strike watches me, they think I'm sitting there banging my head on my joystick because I play really bad. So my whole point is to have fun, to get back into fighting games, and to hopefully share my knowledge with games with the community. Even if I'm new to a certain game, like say Injustice, I haven't played that yet, even though I own it right now. I know that because of my past experience, I could probably catch on quicker and hopefully teach people about fighting games, if not the joy of fighting games, because some people out there are afraid to jump into fighting games because there's no one out there to really encourage them, and sometimes it's a volatile type of community when you're new.
I have been getting my ass kicked severely on Tekken 6, so I've just stopped. I've just stopped playing it now because they're just handing me my ass in a great ceremony.
The Tekken community is ruthless. If you want
Yes.
even more ruthless, the virtual fighter community, not only will they beat you, they'll stop playing you after they beat you. They'll just start leaving the lobby like you're not even worth it anymore.
Well, what I get some guy who's like Tekken God or Tekken Lord or something, and he'll add me as preferred player because he knows he can beat me, and I'll play him about 3 or 4 times before I actually give up. Because I'll keep fighting him just to see if I can actually get a win, but no.
Yeah.
Every
But
time.
that's the best attitude when it comes to fighting games. I always tell people this: fighting games are just like, if you were a boxer training for a match. It's not about the win. You actually learn a lot of times a lot more about the loss, because then you actually learn how to counter whatever that person's doing. And the best part is when you finally get over that person who's been driving you with that cheap tactic that you hate, and you go, I can do it. I've learned how to do this from now on, and then you get even better.
And we move on to one of your latest videos called Don't Let YouTube Beat You.
Mm-hmm.
I found that to be a very good piece of work. I just want a little bit more information on what you're trying to achieve there.
Basically, and it's funny about that video, and I made a couple of jokes on Twitter that it's never the one video that you put all these hours of editing in. It's just that one video that you put up that seems to be the one that always catches fire, and that's exactly what it was. It was a video that I made because I just felt I saw a lot of my friends on YouTube, and as I grew on YouTube, I looked around the landscape. There's a lot of people out there with a lot of talent. They get really frustrated because they'll do all this work on their channel, be it vlogs, be it gaming, be it whatever, and no one views it, or very few view it, and they'll just quit. And it's kind of sad because, from my experience, it seems like some of the bigger channels now, especially in the gaming side, don't innovate and don't take as many risks as the smaller channels do. And I just tell these people, don't give up, have fun with YouTube, because in the end, we're all just a bunch of nerds talking to microphones about video games. I mean, as real as I possibly can. We're just trying to show our excitement, our love of video games, and don't take it to heart. Even though it does feel like rejection if one video does really well and the next video does really bad. Don't take it as a rejection. Take it as a learning experience. Take it as, hey, I did something cool with that video. Now let's see if I could continue it and do the best I can to the people who subscribed. So I just don't want people that have the talent, have the drive for YouTube, basically throw up their hands in the air because, they're not getting to the quote-unquote level that they hope to get into, because very few people reach that top level. And it's better to not really to care, but not care enough that it ruins your day, because in the end, this is just a hobby. And the moment you take it to the point that it ruins your everyday, you basically are also ruining the content you're making for the subscribers who are supporting you. So, to respect them, you got to respect that you are different than who you are on YouTube, and just to have fun with this.
That's brilliant stuff. Okay, on that note.
He's like, I guess I'm really intense.
Well, you see, I've only ever made content on ScrewAttack. I've never actually felt that I owe YouTube anything. I just add videos on there as a means to an end. I get it on there so I can get it on ScrewAttack. Yeah. That's it. I don't, people subscribe and I always ask them, go over to ScrewAttack. I'm over there more than I am on YouTube. Do that.
Exactly.
Okay. Out of all your works, all your videos, which one's your favorite?
Oh man, probably my Just One Life episode of Battletoads.
Oh, yeah.
That is probably my most favorite episode, because I even had someone kind of claim that I was, using hacking tools or whatever or whatnot. That was 100% unmitigated luck that happened.
That's another one I can't do either. I try, but no.
I don't think I could do it again. That's the best part. It's not like I conquered the stage. It was more like that, I did it, threw my controller in the air, and I was like, I'm done.
Yeah, done. Never again. That's it. Finished.
Because when I put in my show, I put the notes how many hours I was doing that level. Sometimes it's over time, I did an hour here or an hour late. No, this was 5 hours straight doing that one level, and that was the first time I actually beat that level when I actually did the challenge.
Ouch.
Exactly. So I'm like, that was my favorite episode by far, because I literally, after I edit, I was still laughing. I'm like, what are the chances?
It reminds me of of my first Challenge Master Wayne video, where I did a speedrun of Death Egg in Sonic 2, and I
Nice.
did it in 53 seconds.
Wow.
And I can't do it again for some reason. I come back to it and I thought, you know what, I'm going to do it this time, and no, I always miss a hit. No idea why. Are there any G1s out there you would like to collaborate with? Pick me, pick me, pick me.
Yes, you.
Yay!
Actually, there's a lot of G1s. When it comes to collaborations, and this is something I tell to everyone who, G1s or people on YouTube, is that it's just it's an individual basis. I don't sit here and go, oh, I just want to collaborate, because I don't know. I think I'm an odd duck in this way, is that like when a bigger YouTuber likes one of my videos or retweets one of my videos, I'm appreciative because I know they have a bigger audience, and I say, hey, thank you for sharing. But at the same time, I'm not like, hey, let's collaborate, let's do all that kind of stuff. I'm like this weird lone wolf that goes, hey, thanks, and then I walk away, and people are like, you should work with him because he'll make your channel bigger. I'm like, oh yeah, that's that's right. Or it'll be fun. But there's a lot of awesome people on ScrewAttack, to be honest, that I would like to collaborate with, or get their opinion on a couple things. There's so many that came through ScrewAttack. I mean, there's I always pronounce it, the Gaijin Goomba.
Gaijin Goomba, yeah.
Yeah, Gaijin
He's a good
Goomba.
guy.
It was awesome. I think me and the Game Overthinker would have a nice, interesting talk. I think I could keep up intellectually, debate-wise. Maybe not on Mario 3 level, because he's got me beat on there, but on stuff. But pretty much a lot of G1s that create content or even writing abilities, or ones who do music and whatnot. I'm always happy, especially the ones who do music, because it's like, if they want to produce something and then I make a video, like a commentary, and they want to put their music on my videos, I'll be more than happy to, and give them credit and the whole 9 yards. And I think that's a good way for all G1s to work, is that see which each one's talents lie. Some are better writers, some are better artists. Get together and collaborate that way, and I think that's a great way for G1s to collaborate, and that's how I want to collaborate with some G1s.
Which brings us swiftly to the middle segment, Gaming Confessions. Figcoinc, would you like to share with us your confessions in gaming?
Yeah, I have quite a few. Unfortunately, it's kind of sad because, as you know, my channel, it has lots of stuff, everything from indie games to Call of Duty to retro and all that kind of stuff. But I'm really known for retro stuff, so it's kind of embarrassing to say that there's a couple games that I have never beaten, and in the old retro that it's pretty much standard that everyone's either played or beaten or done something with this game. I've never beaten the original Metroid. I played a little bit, but I never did much with it. The biggest gaming confession I have is that I have never beaten Super Mario Bros. 3.
Oh no, really?
Yeah, I tried really hard, but it was one of those games that every time I got to the end, when I was a kid, something always happened. I had to do a chore or do something with my folks, and as an adult, life happens. I'll start playing the game for a bit, and I don't do the whole jump around. I could probably warp there really fast, but I just never. I don't know how many times I actually been on the airship level to count, but I never actually got it to the end.
Oh man, that's just unbelievable. Well, I can't feel your pain because I'm quite good at Super Mario Bros. 3, so I don't understand what you're going through. So.
Yeah. I know a lot of people beat 3, and it's almost blasphemy that a guy who is known on the channel for doing a lot of retro stuff hasn't beaten Mario 3, but that's on my to-do list big time.
Wow, that's a revelation. Now, we move on to the random gaming questions.
Sure.
Figcoinc, what is your favourite system of all time? And if you can't name the one, list your top 5.
Well, for me, my favorite system of all time is the Super Nintendo. That is the system that I love the most. I had the most fun with. I grew up on the Nintendo, My first system was the ColecoVision, but the Super Nintendo was just something about it. Just the catalog of games I really grew attached to, from RPGs to platforms to even sports games. They were, to me, it was always like almost all the games that came out during that era. If they were at least decent quality, they almost seem to be almost classics now. And it's a lot of fun. If I was going to rank systems on my own, a mixture of modern and old, because I also play PC as well, I'd probably say Super Nintendo is by far the number one. Right behind it is going to be the original Nintendo. Then it's going to be PC, the Xbox 360, and then the PlayStation 2. And all for different reasons, all for different type of stuff. But those are my top 5 systems. But by far, the number one is the Super Nintendo.
I've always been a Sega man myself. Mega Drive.
Yeah, well,
Sega's
really big on the outside on Europe. That was Sega's big area is all of Europe.
Definitely. And then Master System. Oh man, great memories. What are you playing at the minute, and how are you liking it?
Well, I'm playing 2 games. It's kind of funny because as a guy who does YouTube and does video for YouTube and full-time job, the whole 9 yards, pretty much my time to do YouTube is pretty much all my free time. So when I play games, I play for YouTube. And so there's 2 games I'm doing right now. One is Long Live the Queen. And I thought it was going to be funny because there's this pretty pink princess on the front, and you think I'll be all super girly, dress her up and whatnot, but to be very honest, that game's weird. That's like if all the art was done by somebody who really, really likes Sailor Moon, but the writing was done by somebody who was a huge Game of Thrones fan. Because everyone's getting murdered, there's civil war, people getting demon possessed, people are like writing weird, like dirty letters to the 14-year-old princess about to be queen. It's like this weird thing that the cover of the game is almost like a falsehood. It's pretty funny.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's weird, but the gameplay is kind of weird because all it is like pick the stats that you need, and her mood changes depending on. Her mood changes depending on what happens in the story, but it also changes the bonuses you get. With the stats, and then when you go into a segment where something's happening, it'll just start randomly picking stuff that happens. So, and the scenarios change over time, so you can play the game 30 different times, and you have 30 different outcomes, and it's almost Super Meat Boy-ish. What I mean by that is that your princess dies a lot, because if you didn't raise a particular stat, and all of a sudden that scenario comes up, the worst thing that can happen is that she'll be impaled, beheaded, poisoned, drowned, electrocuted, blown up by magic, civil war, murdered.
I'm sorry, princess is in another castle.
Yeah, princess is in another castle. Unfortunately, this one's been decapitated.
Oh, man.
And the other one is Game Dev Tycoon. And Game Dev Tycoon is a very cool game. If you see it on Steam, pick it up. It's one of those games that you go through the entire history of the video game industry, from like the very beginnings where it's pretty much just PC all the way to modern era, and I haven't gotten to the future yet, and I think there's a future portion, and the object of the game is to make much money as you can in the game industry, and it covers a bunch of subjects. It covers all the major releases, even covers things like, hey, do you want to support this initiative to get more women into gaming, or people are pirating your game, but the lawyers don't want you to crack down, or do you want to, kind of let it go and just be cool about it? And you have a choice, and it depends how many fans you get, how you perceived, all that kind of stuff. It's pretty fun.
That sounds amazing. Now, your treasured gaming possession. What did you bring for us today?
I brought my arcade stick. Unfortunately, it's a little bit out of reach for the moment. But I have my arcade stick, the Mad Catz Duo. If you want to put it in a picture, you can definitely Google image it. I changed it with a bat top instead of a little ball that you see in some arcade sticks. And I have an octo gate, which basically means, and Stuttering Craig actually, in one of the videos I remember, he actually is a fan of this as well. when you move the stick around, there's either a square gate that it moves around in, so you hit the buttons a certain way, or an octagon shape that it moves around. And I'm a fan of the octagon because I like the somewhat smooth circles when I play like Street Fighter and stuff.
See, I'm very particular with my fighting games because I'm a real fan of joypads.
Yeah.
And I've got this weird thing of putting my right hand over the X and Y buttons thing and using it like a joystick, but use my left hand with the D-pad. I can't explain it. It's just that I've never had the feel for a joystick. I like my D-pads, you know.
Yeah. It depends on taste. I just grew up on fighters, and the reason why it's my most prized possession, even though I have like old strategy guides and I have some old games. The reason that's my most prized possession is because I come from a fighting game background. I really got into gaming during my teen years, going to arcades. That's where I grew up, and I played everything from Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Samurai Showdown. Time Killers, all this type of stuff, but all in the arcade. So when I got the stick, it just brings me back to when I was a kid, and I used to walk up to the arcade, put my quarter up, and say I'm next, and the excitement, the community that I got from it. So that's why it's my most prized possession, because even though the stick is new, the memories that comes along with it is old.
That's brilliant, and that ends this section of the gaming questions. And we move on to the dreaded G1 question. I have a few for you tonight, my friend.
Nice.
G1, no. Why is Fig so sexy?
Well, Fundell, if you want to know why I'm so sexy, I know you try to grow a goatee every once in a while, but I got one of those goatees that that connects all around here, and I know he's a bit jealous. He's always said that he wanted to be me, and I'm sorry, Fundell. You just can't be me, man. As much as you try, you can't be as sexy as this face right here. And now I'm expecting this giant rant in the comment section from him, just telling me how ugly I am.
Oh man, you must bench press about 500 pounds or something because you look fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. You are now my best friend.
G1A0 to Hero wants to know your turn-ons. What turns you on?
Walks on the beach, roses, light music in the background with Moby, maybe some, filet mignon and a cuddle.
Oh, I love a cuddler.
It's a good guess. Everyone deserves a spoon.
Will you marry me?
No.
Moving on. Okay. G1 Prowler 64 wants to know what game is on your wish list that you still haven't got yet.
Well, it hasn't released yet, and the game I really want is Dark Souls 2.
Oh. Yes.
Titanfall looks a lot of fun, but to be honest, it's all about Dark Souls 2. When I used to stream a whole bunch, I beat the entire game, like first time ever playing it, on stream, and the laughter I got from playing that horribly, but somehow beating the game on stream was just an experience that I want to relive again by being a glutton for punishment and going for part 2.
I've heard so much about that game. All good stuff, and as you said, you like the punishment.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's Just One Life series. That's pretty much. And by the way, I don't know if you ever saw. There's one video I put on ScrewAttack with Just One Life. I call it the intro story, and I hold up a list of challenges of like beat Final Fantasy 1 with all black mages, or beat Castlevania 2 in one sitting, and things like that. Those are real challenges that I gave myself as a little kid and actually completed.
Nice one.
So that's where the whole This One Life came from. It was a drunken talk with a buddy, and we were talking about stuff that we did before achievements were out. You made your own achievements, like can I do this at this time, whatever. And that's what the point of it all. Unfortunately, I am nowhere near as good as I was as a little kid. I don't have as much time to do that. So this is more of an underdog story to see if I can even pull it off.
That's brilliant, and we have come to the end of the interview. Have you got any parting words for us?
Honestly, it's to all the G1s. Thank you guys so much for growing the ScrewAttack committee. It's been a great experience watching ScrewAttack grow. I've been around for quite some time very active. In the beginning, just kind of like a lurker, and I've seen it, the good, I've seen the bad, I've seen people come, I've seen people go. But one thing that stayed constant is that the community has been more and more awesome as time gone on. It's a very tight-knit community. I consider it one of the strongest website gaming communities around. And I think you guys are all awesome, and I'm glad to be a part of it. And I'm glad that some of you guys, support my stupid little shenanigans on my YouTube channel. And, it's something that I always wanted to do. And I'm finally getting around it just because of the motivation ScrewAttack and the G1s have given me.
Thank you very much, Mr. Figcoinc, for joining me this evening on G1 Interviews. I have been Master Wayne on G1 Features, and thank you for joining us today. Goodbye. Hey G1s, it's me again. Thanks for sticking around to the end. If you still got a craving for a G1 interview, then why not try out one of these awesome G1s? Or you could hop on over to the G1 Features page at ScrewAttack.com, where there are a whole smorgasbord. Is that right, smorgasbord? Yeah, okay. A smorgasbord of G1s to choose from, such as Stickman, Elmo 3000, Dark Harrow Lord, Side Smash, and many, many more. If you would like to be interviewed on G1 Interviews, you can contact me directly via Twitter, or even over at ScrewAttack.com, where me and Bug Juice are waiting for your call. Thanks for watching.